All right, good morning. Welcome to the Women's Nest, Sunday edition chit chat hour. I got a new desk. It's a sit stand. I hope that it will make things easier for all of us. I'm still trying to, well, not easier for you. You probably don't even listen to the, or watch, you just listen, I hope. Um, Wanted to get this done before everyone comes in my way today. All right. Let me turn my volume down. Okay, that's on do not, well, it's on silent. Vibrate. All right. So, recording this on the Saturday, but this is the Sunday, February 8th edition of the Women's Nest. Um, just the other day, I was like, I don't have anything to talk about this week. And man, oh man, does my life tell me, well, like, don't stress it, right? Because a bunch of stuff came up and I'm excited. All right. So, first, hope everyone got through another week. Um, I actually do have one thing. This was the one thing that I wanted to talk about. Lyrics. Okay. No. Stop. Okay. I'm going to use my phone. I'm going to use my phone for this. So, my new to me vehicle has technology, and the technology is that I can listen to music however I want to. And I think I was using my GPS for something. And um, if you've known me for a while, I love Pink, the musician, not the color. And fucking Perfect came on. And I was like, oh my gosh, flooded memories. That's cool. Um, Flooded some memories to me. And I was like, oh my gosh, where I am now versus where I was when the song came out, versus, I mean, go on and on and on, right? Um, so I was like, I want to dissect the lyrics to that song. So, no, I don't want to listen. Made a wrong turn once or twice, dug my way out, blood and fire. Bad decisions, that's all right. Welcome to my silly life. I can look back and I can say, okay, that was a bad decision, wrong turn, right? Um, but I've dug myself out, right? Mistreated, misplaced, misunderstood. It didn't slow me down. How many times have you felt mistreated or misunderstood? And it really can interfere with how like I feel about myself, right? Um, I'm mistaken, but I'm always second guessing. I was underestimated, but I'm still around. I've been counted out in this thing called life a couple of times over. Some decisions that I've made, but also um, things that have happened around me. I have a friend that says things don't happen to me, they happen around me. Things that happened around me and how, like, my survival skills, my grit, my determination. But underneath that, like, I was still like suffering in silence. Um, but then, like, the next is please don't ever feel like you're less than fucking perfect. If you ever feel like you're nothing, you're fucking perfect to me. And it's, to me, I take that as like talking to myself, right? Like the world may not understand me, but do you, like Danielle, do you understand yourself? And if you do, then you're fucking perfect. You're perfect. You're exactly the way you're supposed to be. This is the part that really got me thinking. You're so mean when you talk to about yourself. You're wrong. Change the voices in your head. Make them like you instead. Do you go in the mirror and be like, you're a scumbag? You're a piece of shit. You're not worth it. Well, then guess what? You're gonna feel that way, right? Like if the inner dialogue tells me that I'm not good enough, then the outside version's gonna feel that way too and act that way. But once I started changing, and let me tell you, it is not an everyday thing by any stretch of the imagination. But when I start saying, hey, you are enough. What's that movie? You are beautiful. You are smart. You can't remember it. But, right? I think it was Whoopi Goldberg. The point is, if my inner dialogue is telling me that I'm a piece of crap, then I'm going to feel that way. But if my inner dialogue is that you're a good person, you're meant to do good things, right? You are a good mom. You are a good partner. You are a good blank. Once I start saying that, right? Um, you start to feel better. So complicated. Look how we all make it, filled with so much hatred, such a tired game. It's enough. I've done all I can think of, chased down all my demons. I've seen you do the same. There's hate all around us. Take that however you want. Locally. Oh, look. See who's interrupting my stream now. Mm-hmm. Um, filled with so much hatred, such a tired game. How do we I don't even know what to say. Like I do and I don't. And I get like when other people come, like I feel weird. Like I'm talking to myself. But when other people come around, I'm like, oh, can't be talking to myself now. I'm just off a little bit. I'm off a little bit. Um, yeah, chase down those demons, right? My demons, I mean, obviously, recovery inspired channel. We know that was a demon, but I didn't have very good self worth, and I still have like some. Um, there we go. Thought it was something on my shirt, but it was something on the monitor. I have a hard time knowing my self worth still today. Open, candid conversation with myself and whoever decides to watch this. But I'm meant to do something bigger. And while I have a job that pays the bills and I love my job, that's not my purpose. I've found my purpose. And, again, I hope that this particular platform helps other women, but it's a part of my purpose, I think. I have the ability to spend $30 on an Amazon microphone. um, I have the ability to be able to share my message with other women, and in turn I hope women can share their message with me and others, right? That's this is my purpose. This is my purpose now. So there's a couple things. What was this one I wanted to do? Yeah. Okay. So to gain maturity, I need to become acquainted with all aspects of myself. Learning about ourselves is often like peeling an onion. We've grown layer on top of layer, sometimes for the purpose of protecting ourselves. Now stop right there. I used to say it all the time that I've built a wall. Actually, my son's father was the one that, it's weird now that I think about it. Um, but when I was like, 18, 19, 20, even before that, I built a wall because I didn't want people to hurt me. Because classmates in my childhood hurt me with their words immensely. Um, I've since gotten over that, but it was a scar. So I built that wall up, right? You can't hurt me because I have this wall. And in my adult life, I've slowly let that wall come down. But this saying here, right? We've grown layer on top of layer, sometimes the purpose of protecting ourselves. That's exactly what I did. I protected myself from people being able to hurt me. You can't get close enough to me to hurt me. I have a completely different view on life now than that, right? None of us came from the perfect home. We've learned there's no such thing. We've all experienced injuries, some physical, some emotional, and we've figured out how to handle these hurts and go on with our lives. To be really healthy, however, we have to unlearn many of the cures that seemed effective in the past. Yep. Yes, yes, yes. Delving into our psyches to discover who we really are can be intimidating. Let's not lament that who we became in our struggle to grow up. Instead, let's accept that we did the best we could. I write my script today. Who I choose to be is in my power. My past performance doesn't determine my present personality. That was for me. But have you looked back and said, wow, while not ideal behavior, right? That wall that I built, not ideal behavior, but it served its purpose. So I'm not going to just discard that and throw it away and say, I don't, that never happened. But I need to peel that back. I need to start that wall to crumble down and allow me to grow, right? Maybe a new layer. I don't know, maybe, right? Or to just expose myself. And people talk about vulnerability as like a bad thing. While it can be in certain situations, getting vulnerable can sometimes be the catalyst for change, whether it's in your home or in your community or within yourself, right? If I can be vulnerable about some things that have happened in my life, i.e., this channel, right? Again, try to make it very much secular about me and not other people. But if I can get vulnerable, will that open the opportunity for someone else to say, me too, or can I tell you something? Vulnerability doesn't have to be a bad word or a scary thing. It can be an empowering thing, right? Like the word surrender gets thrown around in the recovery world a lot. And for a long time, I looked at it as like, surrender? Do you know who I am? Do you know the crap I've been through? You want me to surrender? But in reality, it's a very powerful thing to do. right? I'm not it. I'm not the master of my destiny. I can help it, but I'm not the one that's, I have to surrender to, I'm not the smartest person in the room, or, I can be very smart, but I have to surrender to allowing myself to get vulnerable. There we go. Um, so yeah, that was, and I think that fucking perfect song is exactly like, I had to get vulnerable and be like, yeah, you know what? You were a scumbag. You were right. All of these things, whatever. That was the past. That's not me today. And I am perfect to me, right? Like that's the goal. I don't have to be perfect to everyone else. I mean, it helps if I'm nice and I do nice things and, I'm not a scumbag and all that stuff. But if I'm perfect to me, I can be perfect for this world, right? And there's so much stuff going on, man. Things I'm not going to talk about on this channel, because I made a commitment to. But there's a lot of people that I know that are hurting, and there's nothing I can do except be available for when they need someone to talk to, they need a shoulder to cry on, whatever. Um, I got a call this morning from someone, and like I said, I think I know my purpose now, right? My purpose was just to answer the phone and listen to them. That's it. That was it. At one point I was like, are you talking to vent? Are you talking for like possibly a solution? Like what is it? And there was a long pause and I said, okay, I'm not going to give you my thoughts on it, because she didn't need that. She didn't need that right then and there. She just needed to get it off her chest. And you know what she said was, wow, I haven't said this to anyone yet, right? Um, you know how warm and fuzzy that made me feel, even in a, like, it's a, right, I don't wish the conversation to have happened at all, um, because they're hurt. But I'm happy that I was able to be the vessel for them to get it off their chest, if that makes sense. I hope it does. If it doesn't, just talking to myself. Does it make sense, Danielle? Yeah? Okay, good. Whew. One problem solved. All right. So, yes, this is what I wanted to get. So, um, I got this a while ago. I'm not going to out the person who gave it to me, but they know who they are. And I go through them. There's like 50 cards in here, and it's cute, right? It's cute stuff. And ironically, like every now and again, oh, because I got my new desk and I cleaned up my space and all that stuff. I was dusting, and I was like, oh, and I open it up, and the first one that's here, because I kind of like mix them up every now and again, is so this is the one side of it, right? And then cultivate friendships. And that's what this is, right? So who needs catnip when we've got each other, baby? Recovery gives me a chance to be better, more present friend to others. I trust that sobriety will deepen my true friendship, filter out the bad apples, and attract awesome people who don't need booze to connect, find adventure, share their heart, or do karaoke in a hot dog costume. This spoke to me. It's probably going to be backwards. I mean, it's backwards now, so maybe it won't be, but here we go. Cultivating friendships that mean something. And I will trust that sobriety will deepen my true friendships, filter out the bad apples, and attract awesome people who don't need booze to connect, to find adventure, to share their heart, or do karaoke in a hot dog costume. That's that's what sobriety recovery has done for me. Um, that's where it's at, right? Um, There's another one I want to talk about. Without um, with there's people that I don't talk to, like from 20 years ago, right? I had to I'm going to talk about all three of those things. Okay. Um, 20 years ago, I had to reinvent myself. 21 years ago, I had to reinvent myself. And I lost a lot of friends along the way. Um, but I was okay with that because I knew what that was going to bring me, right? And then in the past, couple of years, I've had to reinvent myself again. And by the way, reinventing yourself isn't a bad thing. Like, I love the reinvented me today. I didn't think I would. I didn't even know that this person existed, right? Um, I've done some work, not a ton. Like, imagine if I put 100% effort into this. Who would I be? Because sometimes I'm shocked at who I am. So, um, the people in my life today, well, some are from a long time ago, the majority are within the past couple of years. The people who are in my life from yesteryear are people that obviously I had a connection with regardless of booze or drugs or whatever, right? Um, the people today, those relationships, right? I can be an absolute hoot, tooting my own horn, um, without drugs or alcohol. I can also be miserable without them too, right? I can do everything that I had done the same. The only difference is I absolutely remember everything I do today. Um, and the people that are in my corner today, my tribe, my people, are people who want the same. Now, that doesn't mean it's an echo chamber, right? The people that want the same are they want the same peace, the same inside stuff. The outside stuff does not matter. The house, the cars, the whatever. The financial stuff, none of that matters. We all chase the same inner peace. Again, not an echo chamber though, right? And because how one person gets it is very different from how the next person gets it. Perfect example. Ryan doesn't listen to the radio in his car. He drives an hour each way to work. That's his peaceful time. That's when right? For me, it's generally puzzle time. But we're both chasing inner peace. That's the type of people that I surround myself with today. Obviously, him and I being surrounded with each other today is very different than, but like how my sponsor may find peace versus me, right? Very different. She goes to a church and she does other things. That's how she finds hers, possibly. I don't know. I've never asked her. Actually, I think maybe I will. If you're listening, send me a text when you watch this. She actually told me the other day she was listening to it. And I said, like, oh, I'm just waiting for my. She was like, I've been at home. Where are you? I'm like, that's so awesome. That's so awesome. Um, I love that. I love that. But yeah, like the people around me today want the same things I do. Uh, go to meetings, ask for help, right? Give help, get help. That's where I'm at, you know. Um, my from I feel, and I talked to someone else about this the other day, and she put me in my place. She put me in my place in a good way. I said, I think my hands for helping are full. She goes, you don't decide that. You just keep doing what you're doing. Situations will work out. And today, I think it was today, also Wednesday. Yeah, like Wednesday, I had a very busy day. Well, two things got canceled. They didn't get very busy after that. No, was it Thursday? Whatever day I had a dentist appointment. I was supposed to meet with two other people after the fact. Both canceled. I had a dentist appointment. That was it. Today, same thing. I was supposed to um, do some things in the morning and then meet with two people, and one had to cancel. Are my hands really full? Or does my higher power work in mysterious ways that I don't understand? Um, so whenever I think like my helping hands are getting full, something happens and it gives me just the time I need. Um, I am usually pretty strict on Sundays being like my nothing day. Um, but again, sobriety has allowed me the opportunity to get a good relationship with my mothers. And I'm doing that tomorrow. I haven't seen them since like Christmas. That's a long time. Um, like, yeah, there's exceptions to the rules, right? Um, but yeah, yeah. All right. So another one I pulled out because this was actually a conversation I had with someone today. I'm going to refill this. It's getting low. I mean, I like room temperature water, but I'm going to go fill this. So hang tight, go to the bathroom. While you're waiting for me, if you want to hit the like button or dislike, if you don't like it, then you don't like it. Make sure you're subscribed so you can get the annoying notifications, and make sure you hit the notification button. And if you really, really, really want to go out on a limb, put a comment. Danielle, hated this episode. Shit. Danielle, you swear too much. So while I go refill my water, go do those things, please. Thank you. I asked nicely. Hi, Ludo. Okay. It's a text. Hold, please. Okay. Setting boundaries. Okay, you see that? Let me see if I can read this backwards. I protect my sobriety by setting healthy boundaries. This includes telling people no when I need to. I think it's like upside down and backwards. Holy shit. Okay. This includes telling people I need to, leaving situations that trigger me, and saying what I mean without saying it mean. Whew. So long, snippy human grump. Hello, Master Jedi of Love, personal agency, and self respect. So your sober pal is like your sober Danielle. It's just talking to me. I protect my sobriety by setting healthy boundaries. I'm actually going to take a picture of this and send this to someone. And I'm going to do it right now before I forget. Yes, I still. It's a glass, right? I don't care what it says. But that used to be my favorite beverage of choice for a long time. Excuse me. Setting boundaries. Okay. Um, that includes telling people no when I need to. I learned early on, when I was on the other side of things, no is a complete sentence. Know that, not N-O that, but K-N-O-W that. No is a complete sentence. Leaving situations that trigger me, especially early recovery, sobriety. Every situation was a trigger. I was just talking to someone about this today, right? Like, there's people who can drink normally. I'm not one of them. Um, People can go to dinner and have a glass of wine. Sure, I'll have one at dinner. Doesn't mean I'm not going to have some after dinner. Um, and those things can still come up. I had someone recently say, so they had gone away and they were, I mean, I was in a situation when I went to San Diego, right? I didn't realize it wasn't like super triggering, but like the thoughts crossed my mind, and they kind of experienced the same situation. And what triggers them doesn't necessarily trigger me, right? Um, so knowing that and being able to leave it, huge, huge. Um, and saying what I mean without saying it mean. That is a continual work in progress for me. I can say things all day long. Can I say them with grace and dignity? Usually not. I'm learning that. I can, and this is, I think, why I don't like texts, because my inner dialogue on what that text actually says versus what it reads are two different things. Um, I joke a lot, and sometimes joking doesn't come off to everyone as funny. I was joking with someone just last night, and I realized like their sense of humor doesn't match mine. And honestly, maybe I was throwing some digs there. Maybe I have some deep-seated stuff going on with that. So, um, yeah. So long to snippy human grump. I think I told you I was like a real bitch the other day. Doesn't mean I'm not human. It came out. I was. Um, but hello, Master Jedi of love, personal agency, and self respect. Now, when I say things meanly, am I respecting myself? No, no. When I say things, what I when I say things I mean, but I say them with compassion, it makes things a little bit easier. Um, Setting boundaries and self respect. Huge, you know? The conversation I had today was like, um, from my perspective, it brought me back. And it brought me back to like some boundaries that I created and how I would handle those boundaries today. And I've talked about a lot, um, If you know me, right? Like there was a point in time where I had told my son that he needed to move out. Um, and yes, this is slightly different because it is, your child versus, say, another adult or whatever. But first of all, it was very sad that I had to tell him to move. But that was because he kept pushing the boundary line, and he's famous for that, man. He's so my kid. Um, it was okay. You need to be home by midnight. It'd be 12:05, and I wouldn't say anything. And then the next weekend it'd be like 12:20. I wouldn't say anything. And then I'd say, hey, you need to be home by midnight. Blah blah blah. And then we'd be back to 12:05. I'd say it again by midnight in the house, not in the driveway, not in the house, door locked. And that just kept happening. And then he was building a shed that just literally almost took a year to build. Um, and there were some other things that were going on. And I said, you need to move out. And he was like, because I came home at 12:15. I said, that was the final straw. But the point is that I had set a boundary. And like backtrack, I had had a conversation with him a few weeks before and said, if you cannot hold up this end of the bargain, you will need to move out. And maybe he was thinking I was going to bluff, but I didn't. I set my boundary and I stuck with it. Now, mind you, the whole week that I had told him, and him leaving or whatever, or he was going on vacation, and Ryan was like, "Please don't make him stress about getting a place um, before he goes away." And so there were new boundaries set for that one week. But that whole week, I was like crying and sad, and I don't want him to have to move out. And Ryan's like, "So don't." I'm like, "No, I created a boundary. I have to keep it." Um, so while boundaries can be difficult in executing, how healthy they are, and this was like super healthy for me, um, because it reiterated that I was the parent. While you are a responsible young man, you still live in this home, right? Those kinds of things. So, um, have you set boundaries and then backtracked on them? Have you never set boundaries? Are you looking to start setting boundaries? Um, if so, write it down, send it all along. Danielle, boundaries are for dummies. I don't care. So I really want this to no longer be a one-sided conversation. I want to engage. I want to hear what you have to say. If there's something that you don't like, uh, let me know, right? Okay. I think this is the last one we'll do because we're about 40 minutes in. Sorry for the first like 15 minutes being sucky. Now I'm on a roll. Acceptance. I accept the bad hair days along with the good hair days. And look, it's a bunny. Right? Haha, hair. Get it? No? Okay. Um, acceptance. Oh my gosh. So I went on this retreat and the facilitator, people that know me have heard this story, so I'm going to bore you and I don't care. Um, so I was talking to this woman, and the facilitator had come along, and I said, "Oh, I hate the acceptance prayer." And the facilitator basically like spit out her coffee, and I was like, "I hate it because it's freaking true. That's why I hate it. I accept reality with grace, humility, and a couple of f bombs." That's so me. Circumstances might not be what I hoped for, but sometimes I got to do life on life's terms. When I accept things, ready? When I accept things as they are, I let go of any mental drama that might trigger me to drink and welcome a healthy dose of inner peace in its place. F yeah. Okay? I accept reality. I don't have to like reality, but it is what it is. Like, the other side of acceptance. It is what it is. Um, but I can also say, F this. I don't care that this is how it, well, I don't like the way it is. So F this, but it's not going to change. So accept it. Circumstances might not be what I hoped for. Yep. Yep. I didn't hope for, um, do I want to talk about that one? Okay. Nice, easy one. Not too deep. I didn't hope to have to get a new car 2 months ago. I was hoping we could wait till like the end of winter. Um, but had to do it. I had to accept that I had to do it. There were a few F bombs along the way. Uh, but when I accepted, I let go of any mental drama. And, again, drama could be triggering for me to want to pick up, right? Or it could be that I just want the circus to come hang out. And if I want the circus to just come hang out, I'm adding drama to my life. When you realized that drama was no longer a part of your life, did you feel like a weight was lifted? I was talking to someone about this the other day that, like, I still am a nosy bitch. Like, I want to know what's going on, but I don't repeat it, right? Um, is it because my life is pretty drama free? I mean, there's some stuff, right? Um, some annoyances, but that's about it. There's no real drama. It's not like, oh, did you hear Lucy done did this to Joe and now, ooh, she keyed his car? No, like, not that drama. No, that's good drama, right? That's some good drama. I still want to hear about it. I just don't want to be a part of it. Um, it reminds me, I was somewhere and there were people arguing, and this guy comes up to me and he goes, hey, if they start fighting, come find me. And I was like, you too. He said, we're still sick. He's like, oh yeah. He's like, we're not like completely well. I mean, I'm not going to start the fight, but I'm going to watch the fight. I'm still sick. Um, right? Like, that's it. That's it, man. Um, wow. I'm so lucky, blessed, whatever the hell you want to call it, for my life today. My son's out working a side gig. House is quiet. Well, kind of quiet, but like, I get to do this. I get to do this. Um, so, like I said, like, subscribe, share. If there's any topics you want to talk about, I think you can do like a community post. Do that, and we'll see what we get going. Right now, next week is going to be an episode on grief and recovery. Still trying to finalize a date with Miss Emma to talk about like women's fashion, that kind of stuff. I'm gonna really just let her take the reins on that one. Um, I got someone else lined up that I believe the topic is going to be invisible disabilities. Yep, yep. Um, there's a couple of professors that I'm scared to reach out to. Like, I've, we're Facebook friends or whatever. But there's two women, possibly three, that I really want to come on and share some experience of. I mean, again, I have topics I would like them to talk about, but maybe whatever they want to talk about. Um, so I guess pray for me that I have the courage to reach out to them. And if they say no, they say no, right? You don't make 100% of the shots you don't take. I think I said that last week too. I think that's it. All right. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Take care. Talk soon.